Okay, so we are using Kangaroo and Company bundle. So we're going to start out with our supplies. We're using Granny Apple Green 6x6 Oso Ombre Designer Series paper. This is going to be one of your celebration choices starting in January, and that's 6x6. Another piece of Granny Apple Green, and then some Whisper White, or we'll call that Basic White, although we don't have it yet. Okay, so I'm going to get my Memento ink and my kangaroo image and my baby kangaroo image. We're not making a baby card though. Okay, what can I say? This is two-sided paper, so not a big deal, right? This is the story of my life for today. I'm just going to say, if anything that happens tonight, don't be surprised. Okay. Now we're going to stamp the little one over here. Want to make sure it's inked up well. And then we're going to stamp, what's this? Just for you. So this can be for any occasion. Okay, now as I do this, I'm like, okay, did I give myself enough room to cut this out? I did. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut out her. We're going to cut out this little one. We're going to cut out Granny Apple Green with those. So I'm going to get the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. A 1 and a 2. And we're going to start with her. Let's see, just like that. Set her aside. And then now we're going to cut this little one down here. Now I found that the little one might shift just a tad, so you can take your washi tape, purple tape, whatever you use. And there's that one. Now for this one, we're going to just fussy cut that with our scissors. I cannot find a punch that was that small. Our punches are so big, and even our circle dies, there's not a circle die that's that small. There is a 3/4 inch one in the one of our other sets, but anyhow. Okay, now we're going to cut the Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to feed both of these through at the same time. Okay, so you get 3 cute flowers, 3 tiny flowers when you use this die, okay? Now I'm going to put these dies back before I lose them. I dropped my die basket today, and they went everywhere on the floor. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? I found them, believe it or not. Okay, so now we're doing something a little bit different. Normally I use my Take Your Pick tool, but that pokey part of the tool is very large. The end of it. It makes a big old hole. So I'm just going to take a needle. This is like a really big needle. And I'm going to pierce each of the scallops ever so lightly. You could use your old retired paper piercer if you want, but it too makes a pretty big hole. So this needle just makes a very faint. And last week we used the chalk pen and we drew a circle in the scallop. So this week we're piercing it. Bringing back the old. Used to do this on like every single time I made a project with a scallop circle. I would pierce the scallops. Almost done. Okay. Now we have some coloring to do. Okay, so I'm going to start with her ears, and I'm going to color them with the dark crumb cake. And her nose. And I'm going to do the same thing to the little. I'm going to take the light petal pink and color the inside of the ear. And then I'm going to take the light crumb cake and color the rest of her. Now for the special part. I'm going to take a rotating cutting mat. Just make sure, rotating means you can turn it like this. I have several of these. So I'm going to take an X-Acto knife. You can use this kind, you can use this kind. I even have the old Stampin' Up! One somewhere. I let David borrow it. Who knows where it went. But what I'm going to do is just cut a hole so that I can add the little, okay? So I like having this rotating mat just so I can move it if I need to. And you might have to, you might have to do it a couple times. Okay, that looks good. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to take this little one and add it inside there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let me take this out here. And I'm just going to place a little bit of liquid glue behind it so that it stays down. Okay? I got my rotating mat from the Fat Quarter Shop. It actually came in one of my Sew Sampler boxes. So I was thrilled. The Sew Sampler boxes are kind of like Paper Pumpkin for crafters, except it's for people that sew. It comes in a blue box instead of a red box. And yeah, just like Paper Pumpkin, it's like Christmas every month. Okay, so I'm going to take my Wink of Stella now, and I'm going to give her face and her body just a little shine. And the little too. Okay, that's how it looks so far. I'm going to clean up for just a second, get all these markers out of the way. And now I'm going to get my scissors, and we're just going to cut straight across. straight up, straight across. Same thing. And we're going to add that over here, okay? I might trim it just a little bit more. These are our paper snips. I would not attempt this with my larger scissors. I'm just saying. Okay, that looks good, right? And then I'm going to take a mini dimensional. Okay, come here. Just for you. And then we're going to add a little flower over here, because this space over here was it was empty. It was needing something. So I tried some of our other flowers. They were too large. So I felt like this flower was perfect, but you can use any flower that you have in your possession. I just like to make sure that I always use current product. Or upcoming product, I should say. And now we're going to add a little rhinestone to the middle of the flower. And then we're going to make our box. Whoops, come here. Okay, there she is. Now this paper comes in multiple colors. So there's Blackberry Bliss, Rococo Rose, Bermuda Bay, and Granny Apple Green. All of the colors would look beautiful in this. So we're going to add it to the middle of our scallop. And there's that part. Now we're going to use the paper trimmer. And I'm going to start with the bottom of the box. So it measures 6 by 6. And I'm going to score it at 1.5 on all 4 sides. So make sure my cutting blade is up there, far, far away. So 1.5, and I'm going to do this on all 4 sides. I'm going to take the top of the box and I'm going to score it at 1 7/16 on all 4 sides. And the 7/16 is this tiny mark before the 1.5, okay? Press lightly when you're doing the designer series paper because you will rip it. Ask me how I know that. I love this paper too. It's so, I think it's because I love all the colors in it. So that's what makes me like it. Okay, so I'm going to fold on the score lines and then I'm going to burnish with my bone folder. Now I'm going to take the sides, these 4 corners, and I'm going to fold them in just like that. Okay? Then I'm going to do that all 4 corners. Okay. Now you can attach these sides however you want. But a really quick and easy way is just to use a stapler. You can use glue, which we will do on the top of the box. But for the bottom of the box, this is going to get covered up. Ruh-roh. What happened? I think I'm running out of staples. It's a good thing that's the last one I needed. I mean, I have more, but okay. So here's our box. Here's the bottom of our box. What will fit in here? We could make that fit if we wanted to. I have a little container of embellishments will fit in there. All kinds of candy. It measures 3 by 3. So whatever you have that measures 3 by 3. So now we're going to take the lid and do the same thing. So fold on all the score lines. Burnish with your bone folder. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not showing my face. Until I get that software, I'm going to have to go with a different company. I'm not going to show my face when it won't work. I discovered it was the software I was using. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fold in the corners. Plus, y'all don't want to see my face today. I cried more than I did not today. They had my aunt's service today, and I wasn't able to go because of COVID. So yeah, y'all don't want to see my puffy face. So now we're gonna assemble or attach these sides, and you can use liquid glue, you can use tear and tape. You honestly can use any adhesive that you prefer. I'm just gonna go take the easy route and just use a little bit of the Stamp and Seal, because it is really easy to use and it is super sticky. Okay, so here's how it's going to look right now, okay? Now you bring it up like that. So you can store these, you can make these in advance, store them flat, whip them out whenever you need them. And then you can add adhesive here to completely close it. Or you can staple it, or you don't have to, but you kind of want to. So now what I'm going to do is put adhesive on these corners. Okay? And then it goes in, let's see. Okay, here's our box. See? Perfect. Now, we're going to take her. Now we need a little bit of ribbon, because we got to have ribbon, right? I'm just going to make the bow just a little bit smaller. So we're going to add her to the top of the box using some dimensionals, if I can find some. It seems like all I have are oh, there they are. I have an abundance of the littles. Okay, so she's going. So what I'm doing is because it's ombre, I was trying to figure out which do I prefer, where do I want the dark area at? Do I want it at the top or do I want it at the bottom? So that's why I was flipping it around. It's not all the same because of the ombre. That's why I love using dimensionals to attach images, because you can peel them back up if you need to. Okay, so here's our darling little box. You could add a couple more flowers if you want to. I'm okay with just having one. Yeah, you could add more though. So here's the one that I made like literally an hour ago. And then here's the one we just made. Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to go live tonight, but yes, I'm here. Okay, have a good night. Thank you guys so much. Okay, so we have a few housekeeping notes while we're waiting for everyone to get in here. First things first, some people ask about the 5 packs of paper that you're getting when you join in January. So these are the 5 packs. That's 200 sheets of paper. Yeah, so this is what you're getting in addition to your starter kit. For those of you that are thinking about joining my team, they're beautiful papers. Look, see the pattern on that one? Don't forget, registration for my mini catalog paper shares are still going on right now. And what paper shares are, sometimes I forget that they're new people. They're just a sample of all the paper that's in the catalog. And there is a video that kind of shows those today. This was sitting in here because I'm kind of working on my new team members packets for celebration. I'm trying to get ahead instead of behind.